Breaking: Nick Aldis drops a bombshell revealing LA Knight as Bron Breakker's attacker. Nick Aldis just destroyed LA Knight's career with one announcement, and the entire wrestling world is imploding right now. What happened on SmackDown wasn't just a reveal, it was a calculated character assassination that exposed LA Knight as the most despicable traitor in modern WWE history. And here's the part that's going to make you absolutely furious: LA Knight didn't attack Bron Breakker out of jealousy or competition. He did it because WWE management asked him to, and in exchange, they promised him something that will make every single LA Knight fan feel betrayed and disgusted. Because what Nick Aldis revealed goes deeper than one mystery attacker storyline. This exposes a toxic culture where WWE pits their own stars against each other, where the wrestlers you're cheering for are stabbing each other in the back for management's favor, and where you chants were covering up the actions of a man who was systematically trying to end another wrestler's career for a WrestleMania payday. Friday Night SmackDown opened with Nick Aldis standing in the center of the ring with the most serious expression we've ever seen from the SmackDown general manager. No theatrics. No lengthy introduction. He got straight to the point. I have security footage that definitively identifies Bron Breakker's mystery attacker, and what you're about to see will change SmackDown forever. The arena went dead silent. This wasn't the speculation anymore. This wasn't creative teasing out a mystery. This was the actual authority figure, the on-screen boss of the brand, making an official announcement with legal implications. The Titantron lit up with footage from multiple angles, timestamped, clearly showing backstage areas over the past 6 weeks. And there he was, LA Knight, not wearing a mask in these early planning stages, meeting with someone whose face was intentionally blurred out in the footage, taking what appeared to be a briefcase, not money in the bank, but an actual payment briefcase that you see in crime movies. The crowd's reaction was visceral, boos that shook the entire arena. Chants of "you sold out" started immediately, because LA Knight was one of the most organically over wrestlers on the entire roster. The fans legitimately loved him. His promos were must-see. His charisma was undeniable. And he betrayed all of that, betrayed the fans who made him relevant to attack Bron Breakker. But Nick Aldis wasn't done. He showed more footage. LA Knight in the mystery attacker gear, caught on a camera angle that hadn't been shown on previous broadcasts. The body language was unmistakable. The mannerisms, even through the disguise, were clearly LA Knight's signature movements. Then Aldis dropped the nuclear bomb. LA Knight accepted payment from a WWE executive whose identity is currently under internal investigation to systematically injure Bron Breakker badly enough to remove him from the WrestleMania card. The attacks weren't personal. They were contracted. The implications are staggering. This means LA Knight isn't just a jealous competitor. He's a mercenary. He's someone who sold his integrity, his character, and his soul for corporate favor. Every chant, every organic crowd reaction, every moment where fans believed LA Knight was the voice of the people, it was all covering for someone willing to commit career-ending violence for management's agenda. Aldis continued, as general manager of SmackDown, I am indefinitely suspending LA Knight, effective immediately, pending a full investigation. And I am personally recommending to WWE management that LA Knight's contract be terminated for conduct detrimental to the company and physical assault of a fellow performer. The crowd erupted in approval. But here's what should concern every wrestling fan: Nick Aldis is the general manager. He doesn't have the authority to unilaterally fire someone, which means this suspension and recommendation had to be cleared by actual WWE management, which means the same executives who allegedly paid LA Knight to attack Bron are now throwing him under the bus to protect themselves. 20 minutes into SmackDown, LA Knight's music hit. The boos were deafening. He walked out looking absolutely defiant, not apologetic, not ashamed, but angry that he got caught. And what he said in that ring is going to make you absolutely sick. LA Knight grabbed a microphone and said, "You want the truth? Yeah, I attacked Bron Breakker. Yeah, I took money to do it. And yeah, I'd do it again in a heartbeat, because that's how this business actually works." He went on a rant about how WWE is a cutthroat business where nice guys finish last. That Bron Breakker got opportunities handed to him because of his last name, because he's a Steiner, because he has family connections that LA Knight could never compete with. That LA Knight had to claw and fight for every single opportunity, while Bron got fast-tracked to the main roster, got championship matches, got WrestleMania positioning. So when management came to me and said, "We need Bron out of the picture, and we'll make it worth your while," I didn't hesitate. Because in WWE, you take every opportunity you can get, or someone else will take it from you. That's reality. That's business. And all of you sitting here booing me? You'd do the exact same thing if you were in my position. The crowd was nuclear with hatred at this point. But here's the disturbing part: LA Knight was articulating a perspective that, while morally reprehensible, reflects real frustrations that exist in WWE's system. The nepotism, the politicking, the way legacy wrestlers get opportunities that others have to fight exponentially harder to achieve. Then Bron Breakker's music hit, and the arena exploded. Bron stormed to the ring with a level of intensity that was genuinely frightening. This wasn't wrestling character intensity, this was real anger from someone who'd been systematically attacked for weeks by someone he considered a colleague, maybe even a friend. Security immediately flooded the ring, trying to keep Braun and LA Knight separated. But Braun grabbed a microphone and delivered a promo that was scorching. "You took money? You attacked me for a paycheck? I respected you, Knight. I thought you were one of the good ones. I thought your connection with the fans was real. But you're just another sellout who'll do whatever management asks if the price is right." LA Knight fired back, "Your respect? Your respect means nothing when your last name gets you everything I had to earn. You want to talk about being real? I'm the realest person in this company because I'm honest about what it takes to survive here. You're living in a fantasy where hard work and talent matter. I'm living in reality where connections and opportunity matter more." The confrontation was electric. Two completely opposing philosophies clashing in real time. Braun representing the ideal that wrestling should reward talent and dedication. LA Knight representing the cynical reality that wrestling is a business where survival requires moral compromise. Backstage reports from SmackDown are absolutely chaotic. The locker room is completely divided on this situation, and it's exposing fractures that have existed beneath the surface for months. One camp, mostly younger wrestlers and those from wrestling families, is absolutely disgusted with LA Knight. They're saying that what he did crosses every line of locker room ethics. That no matter how frustrated you are with your positioning, you never deliberately try to injure another wrestler. That taking money from management to attack a colleague is the most unforgivable betrayal possible. But there's another camp, and this is what should concern everyone that's sympathetic to LA Knight's perspective. These are wrestlers who've been stuck in catering for years, who've watched less talented performers get opportunities because of who they know or where they came from, who've pitched ideas that got rejected while management's favorites got entire storylines built around them. These wrestlers aren't defending LA Knight's actions, but they're saying they understand the desperation that leads someone to make that choice. And that's absolutely terrifying because it suggests WWE's internal culture is so toxic that wrestlers feel like attacking colleagues might be a viable career strategy. Veterans are reportedly furious at WWE management. Names like Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and Kevin Owens are asking the question that nobody in corporate wants to answer: who paid LA Knight? Which executives signed off on this? And why is LA Knight being punished while the person who orchestrated the conspiracy remains protected? Here's where Nick Aldis's bombshell revelation creates more questions than answers. Aldis showed footage of LA Knight meeting with someone, taking payment, planning the attacks. But he deliberately blurred the face of the person LA Knight was meeting with. Why? If this was really about transparency and justice, Aldis would expose everyone involved. Instead, he's protecting someone. Which means either WWE's legal team won't allow him to reveal that person's identity yet, or WWE management is deliberately scapegoating LA Knight while protecting the executives who created this situation. Wrestling insiders are speculating wildly about who the blurred figure might be. Is it a member of creative who wanted to push a different wrestler into Braun's spot? Is it a talent relations executive who has a personal grudge against the Steiner family? Is it someone in corporate who wanted to make an example of what happens when wrestlers get too popular through organic fan support instead of management's chosen narratives? The fact that we don't know makes this worse, because it means this conspiracy could involve anyone. It means every authority figure, every producer, every backstage executive is now under suspicion. The paranoia that's spreading through the locker room is absolutely justified. Let's be brutally honest, LA Knight's WWE career is over. Not suspended, over. Even if WWE doesn't terminate his contract, his credibility with fans is completely destroyed. The organic connection that made him special? Gone. The yet chance? They'll be replaced with "you sold out" for the rest of his career. But here's what's absolutely tragic about this situation: LA Knight was right about one thing. He was getting buried. His pushes would start and then mysteriously lose momentum. He'd get over organically with fans, and then creative would cool him off. His character had WrestleMania main event potential, and he was stuck in midcard purgatory. So WWE's system created the frustration that made LA Knight vulnerable to this offer. Management's favoritism, their tendency to push certain types of performers over others, their pattern of starting and stopping pushes based on backstage politics, all of that created an environment where someone like LA Knight might actually consider attacking a colleague for career advancement. WWE is complicit in creating the conditions that led to this betrayal, but LA Knight is the only one being punished for it. That's not justice, that's scapegoating. The fan reaction to this revelation is absolutely heartbreaking to watch. Social media is flooded with videos of fans literally throwing away their LA Knight merchandise, burning replica titles, deleting montage videos they'd created celebrating his promos and matches. Because LA Knight wasn't just another wrestler. He represented something special, the idea that you could get over through pure charisma and connection with fans, that WWE would eventually recognize and reward organic popularity, that the voice of the people could still matter in a corporate wrestling environment. And it was all fake. While fans were chanting yeah and making LA Knight trend on social media, he was backstage planning attacks on Bron Breakker for money. While fans were advocating for his push on Twitter, he was meeting with executives to discuss which attacks would cause maximum damage. The betrayal isn't just of Bron Breakker, it's of every single fan who believed in what LA Knight represented. This revelation exposes the darkest aspects of professional wrestling culture. The politicking, the backstabbing, the way wrestlers will compromise their integrity for perceived advancement, the way management exploits desperation and frustration to manipulate talent into doing things that benefit corporate agenda. But it also raises uncomfortable questions for fans. How many other wrestlers have taken similar deals? How many mysteries and attacks and betrayals that we've watched over the years were actually orchestrated by management to manipulate storylines and push certain wrestlers over others? How much of what we watch is genuine competition versus managed outcomes arranged through backroom deals? The cynicism this creates is toxic for the entire industry. If fans start believing that everything is corrupt, that every organic moment is potentially manufactured, that wrestlers are willing to literally attack each other for management favor, why keep watching? Why invest emotionally in anything? Nick Aldis dropped a bombshell revealing LA Knight as Bron Breakker's attacker, but the real story is what this exposes about WWE's internal culture. This isn't just about one bad decision by one wrestler. This is about systemic problems that create conditions where attacking colleagues for career advancement seems like a rational choice. LA Knight destroyed his career and his legacy. Bron Breakker was victimized by someone he trusted. WWE management orchestrated a conspiracy and is now hiding behind their scapegoat. And fans are left wondering how many other wrestlers they're currently cheering for would make the same choice LA Knight made if given the opportunity. What's your take? Does LA Knight deserve sympathy for being stuck in a corrupt system, or is what he did unforgivable regardless of circumstances? Should WWE expose the executive who paid him, or is protecting management more important than transparency? Sound off in the comments, because this is the most divisive story in wrestling right now. If this video gave you the full story with all the uncomfortable implications, destroy that like button and share this everywhere. Subscribe to Wrestling News CC, because this conspiracy has layers we haven't even uncovered yet. LA Knight has been exposed, but the person who paid him is still in power, and that should terrify everyone.